Lesson 40, abstract fractional equations. We've done equations similar to this, but we've done them with numbers. Today, we're going to get some algebra going in there, and we're going to do it with some letters instead. A few steps to solving these kinds of problems. Step 1. Find a common denominator. Step 2, multiply each term by the common denominator. When we multiply each term by a common denominator, we are eliminating fractions from the equation. Once we've multiplied each term, we go ahead and cancel so that we can go ahead and get rid of this denominator. Step 3 is to solve for the specified variable. So step 1, find a common denominator. Step 2, multiply each term by the common denominator. And step 3, solve for the specified variable. Let's go ahead and do some examples. Example number 1, a over x plus m over a equals c. The first step is to find a common denominator. So the common denominator in this problem would be ax. C has an understood denominator of 1. So ax is going to be our common denominator. We're going to multiply each term through by that common denominator. So we're going to multiply each term by ax. When we multiply each term by ax, in the first term we can cross out the x's and cancel those, so we're left with a squared. Here we can cancel the a's, and we're left with mx. And here we multiply and we get acx. The variable I want us to solve for in this problem is going to be x. So we are solving for x, which means in order to solve for x, we want to get all of the x's on one side of the equation and everything else on the other. So what we're going to do is, since I already have an x here, we're going to move this term to the other side by subtracting mx from both sides. So now our equation looks like this. A squared equals acx minus mx. Again, we're solving for x, so we want to get x by itself. Notice on the right side of the equal sign, both terms have an x. So we're going to factor that x out. When we factor x out, we're left with ac minus m. And that's equal to a squared. To get this x term alone, we're going to divide by ac minus m. What we do to one side, we must do to the other. So the solution to this equation is x equals a squared over ac minus m. That is the solution to this equation. Let's try one more example together before I have you do one on your own. Example 2. 6 over p minus ax equals m over y plus x. And in this equation, we're going to solve for p. The first step that we're going to do is to find a common denominator. The common denominator in this problem is going to be py. Ax has a denominator of 1 and s also has a denominator of 1. Py is our common denominator. We're going to multiply each term by py. Once we multiply each term by py, we can cross cancel to get rid of our denominators. So we now have 6y minus a p x y equals MP plus PSY. Now in this equation we are solving for P. We have two terms on the right side of the equal sign that both have P in them. So we're going to add APXY to the other side so that all of the terms that have P in them are on one side of the equal sign. So we have MP plus PSY plus APXY. Now that every term that has a P in it is on the right side of the equal sign, we can go ahead and factor the P out from each of those terms. So when we factor, we get M plus SY plus AXY. Again, that is equal to 6y. So in order to get that P by itself, we're going to divide both sides by M plus SY plus AXY. So our solution is P equals 6y over M plus SY plus AXY. Let's go ahead and try one on your own. Example 3. X over M plus C equals Y over A. Pause the video and try this example by yourself. Let's check your solution to see what we got. First step is to multiply each term by a common denominator. We've got to find the common denominator and then we need to multiply it through by each term. So a common denominator in this problem is going to be AM. So we're going to multiply each term by AM. Oh, I didn't tell you what you were solving for. Solve for M. Now that we've multiplied each term by AM, we can cross cancel. And we're left with AX plus ACM equals MY. We're solving for M, so we are going to subtract ACM from both sides. We're left with AX equals MY minus ACM. Factor the M. And divide by y minus AC. So the solution is M equals AX over y minus AC.